The Northtown News Magazine is brought to you in part by the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation, caring for the families of slain and seriously injured officers.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city, sweet home Chicago.
Hey there, I am really Marty Levinson. Don't let anybody fool you. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us out on the web at www.ntnm.org, where you'll find all our videos for the past 9 or 10 years. Hundreds of thousands have watched. Thank you so much. CommunityPolicingCamps24.org. Jewish Chicago, you still have time, just a teeny weeny bit of time, to get involved in the issue if you're watching this on here right now. So pick up that phone and contact me right away if you want to be involved. It is a pleasure to reintroduce you to somebody who's been on the show before. She is presently the president of the Decalogue Society, which is a society of Jewish lawyers, which of all the bar associations is far and away one of the most respected, that there is. And she is running for judge countywide, and I'll let her tell you about it. Deidre Baumann, how are you?
Thank you so much for having me.
First of all, thank you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background first?
I have been practicing 23 years. I do primarily civil litigation, personal injury, employment discrimination, civil rights. I have my own firm. I started out, I'm originally from Chicago, Rogers Park. I grew up here. Went to Lane Tech High School, went to the University of Illinois for school, paid for my education, worked many, many jobs, and returned to the city from U of I to practice law. Started out in the public defender's office, which I loved, and I continued to do some criminal defense work as well as some appellate work. But right now, primarily civil rights, employment discrimination. I'm in court almost every day. I've done over 30 jury trials. I recently obtained a very favorable verdict this past fall against the Chicago Board of Education. I'm proud of that. And just this week, the Supreme Court came down with a decision abrogating the public duty rule. And I am very proud to say that I wrote the brief for, as amicus curiae for the Illinois Trial Lawyers Association.
That's hussy-tussy stuff.
Yeah, well, it's very, very important because it permits people who are really gravely injured, at least gives them an opportunity to have their day in court and to prove a case. It's subject to tort immunity rules and what have you, but at least they're in the door now. Very, very important for the plaintiff's bar.
No, that's pretty hot. That's pretty good stuff. One thing I'll tell you too, that I know so many really highly respected people, judges and elected officials and people with very high judicial ratings who've run, who think the world of you.
Thank you.
And, that does definitely need to be pointed out. So you're running for judge. This is not like another office. You can't promise people 40 acres and a mule. You can't get on the soapbox, and sling a bunch of false promises their way. How do you go about campaigning?
I have to let people know who I am and talk about myself, talk about my experience, 23 years. I'm in court. I know the rules of evidence. I know the law. And that is what I need people to understand. And I think more importantly, given my background in civil rights, employment, personal injury, I have represented people. I think you may recall the Baroque case. I was lead counsel on that. And so I've devoted my career to serving people. And that's what I want to convey to the citizens of Cook County, and I want to continue doing that as judge and using that experience, using my passion and my understanding of everyone and all situations.
No, that sounds really good. So I take it you're going to a lot of different places to, campaign as best as you can, given what you're allowed to do and not to do.
Correct.
And you're running county-wide, so that means, are you really going from like the far south suburbs all the way to Lake Cook Road and all that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And all the way west to almost to Will County. It's one of the best parts about running, just being able to meet people and do things and have experiences that you would not otherwise have unless you're putting yourself out there and putting yourself on the line. So I enjoy going all over the county and meeting all types of people and doing some really interesting things like this.
Okay, no, that's cool, and we're happy to have you. So if you are available for speaking engagements if people would like to?
Oh, absolutely. And I have a website, www.deidrebaumanforjudge.com.
And Deidre Baumann, the spelling you're seeing on the screen right now, so you don't have to spell it out.
Thank you.
So
I can be contacted through that website. I'm happy to meet with anyone, really, and introduce myself.
Yeah. Do you attend multiple events a night when there are multiple events?
I do, absolutely. Tonight I'm having a fundraiser for.
You're not allowed to ask directly for money on the show, by the way.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah. But that is what I'm doing this evening, and then for the rest of the week, I have multiple things. I'll be visiting, and
you'll be meeting and pressing the flesh, and
right.
Telling people the best reasons why you should be a circuit court judge in Cook County. And early voting does start on Monday, February 29th. You can register prior. Election day is Tuesday, March 15th, and you don't need any excuse to vote by. I guess you can vote by mail now too. All kinds of things.
I believe so, and it's so important that people understand that there are options. There are a lot more options now. You do not have to necessarily go to the poll on Election day, although I encourage people to do that. But
definitely. We're running out of time, but vote early and often for Deidre Baumann.
Thank you.
And I know that legally you can't say that. I love saying that to state's attorneys in particular, by the way. I want to thank you very much for being here, and good luck in the election.
Thank you.
Thank you.